In this video, I'll be going through what you need to know about emotional support animals, the update for 2021 on all of the rules and regulations, and how to register your emotional support animal. Greetings, my name is Nigel Mayo and this is my channel Salad Cream Boy. If you're finding me for the first time, my channel is devoted to bringing you all the information that you need for your emotional well-being and mental health conditions such as anxiety and depression. If you want to hear more about what I have to offer for you and what this channel is about, I've taken the liberty of putting a link in the description of my channel trailer which will tell you all that you need to know. Now, with all that out the way, let's begin, shall we? Emotional support animals, or ESAs, are a relatively new thing in the UK, so there's a lot of people who don't really know anything about them yet. One of the reasons for this is that they're not officially a service animal or a therapy animal. Those are animals that need training and need to pass tests in able to support their owners. With emotional support animals, or ESAs, it's exactly what it says on the tin. They're just there for your emotional needs. But Salad Cream Boy, you charismatic bringer of information, I hear you say. What exactly does that mean? Well, hypothetical person that I just made up to prove my point, let me show ya. An emotional support animal, or an ESA, can be a new or even an existing pet. Their one and only function is to be there for you for your emotional needs by being your companion. That is literally it. They don't need any official training and they don't need to pass any physical tests. They're also not restricted by species, so they can be any animal that you like. Again, this is a relatively simple process. All you need is a document such as a letter from your doctor or your therapist stating that you need them for your emotional needs. The only stipulation of this is that you officially have to have a history of a mental health condition in your records. Other than that, just as long as you can get that document, letter or whatever you can get from them, then you can officially say that your animal is an emotional support animal. There's also a wide range of things like harnesses with emotional support animal on them, stickers for your cars, etc. I've taken the liberty of just putting a few links in the description just in case you're interested in having some for yourself, just to show people that they're there for your emotional needs. Now this is where it becomes a little bit of a grey area. You see, there is a bit of a stigma that's attached to emotional support animals. They're not recognised in UK law as service animals as they are in the US. Things such as airlines, hotels, shops and even landlords are not obligated to make any allowances or any exemptions for your situation. You might think that images such as this are hilarious, and to be quite honest, you'd be right. Animals of all shapes and sizes going through the airport. To be honest, I found it a bit comical at first. And I really do mean just at first. Unfortunately, this isn't any kind of laughing matter now. I'm using these examples to highlight the fact that owners have started abusing the laws and the restrictions behind emotional support animals when it comes to taking them in the cabin on a plane. It's due to things like this that the airlines have had to clamp down and become a lot more strict on how they view emotional support animals. So the thing is that it used to be the case that you could take your animal with you in cabin for no extra charge. The thing is, because of this, it just got to the point where it got silly for the amount of animals and the types of animals that they're taking onto the planes with them, such as peacocks, and there are animals like small horses and animals that are going to create a huge disruption with the other passengers. I mean, really, if you're stuck on an 8-hour trip, would you really want the scream of a canary the whole way? Nowadays, the airlines have absolutely no obligation to let your ESA onto cabin with you. However, there are some international airlines that might make some exemptions for you. It's always prudent just to contact the airline before you make your plans. That way, once you bring your animal to the airport, there's nothing really more to be done other than board. Again, I strongly recommend that you contact the airlines before you make your plans. Again, as I stated earlier, emotional support animals aren't recognised as service animals under the law, so landlords aren't legally obligated to let animals into the house, even though you might have that letter from the doctor. However, that doesn't necessarily mean to say that having an ESA doesn't mean anything. Meet Ghost. He's my pet rabbit, my best friend and my emotional support animal. He means the world to me and has got me through some really low points in my life. I really don't know what I'd do without him. I've recently been moving around rented properties and a lot of those properties have been letting him in and they allow pets. Unfortunately, my current landlord doesn't. I didn't find this out until I was reading through my tenancy agreements where I've actually already paid them as well to secure the property. However, when I explained my situation and that I needed Ghost for my support, they allowed it. The thing is, just as long as you can prove that your animal doesn't cause any kind of disruption to the other tenants, doesn't create any kind of financial hardships to the landlord, such as damage to the property, and that you can prove that it's a reasonable request, the landlord is much likely to accept them. Think about it. They still want your rent, and just as long as it doesn't impact on them financially, there really isn't anything to worry about. So even though the property may be listed, or you find out later in my case that they don't allow pets, doesn't necessarily mean that it's off the table. So you're probably wondering at this point, what exactly is the point of having an emotional support animal? Good question. Yes, it's unfortunate that they're not recognised under UK law as service animals, etc. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that there's no point to registering them. Laws are changing all the time and it's better to register them now, so for when the laws do change that there's nothing really more to be done, as opposed to having the ability to take them out, etc. under UK law and not having that documentation to back you up. Always cover your back. I've also taken the liberty of dropping a link in the description to Petition, as where the emotional support animals in the UK can be recognised under law. This is to help anyone with a mental health condition so that you can have the support that you need. Anyway, I hope this video has helped. I know it's not the best news, however I find it that it's really important that you have all of the facts before you make a decision on your animals. If and when there are any changes to UK law, trust me, I will be covering it. Now, to that end, if you got any value from the content in this video, I'd like you to consider liking it, subscribing to this channel for any more on mental well-being, and if you have any comments or any feedback, please don't hesitate to leave them in the comments below. It really does help towards supporting channels of all of your favourite content creators and to help grow their channels. Because it's like I always say, at the end of the day, it gets dark.